Hello and welcome. In this video we are going to create a function that will draw the clock numbers. So this is what our code looks like at the moment, and this is what we've been able to achieve so far. So by the end of this lecture we should have clock numbers on the clock. So what I'm going to do, I've already pre-staged the code. I'm going to add the block of code and do my best to explain what the code does. So just underneath, and you can call a function from anywhere. If you notice, this draw clock function here is inside that function. We're also calling this draw face function. We're going to create a function called draw numbers. And again, we're going to add that here. In fact, let me do that now. I'm just going to call this draw numbers. And inside the parentheses, I'm going to also reference the seed context and the radius. So this is going to be a function that I'm going to create in a minute, but I'm referencing it inside this clock. So when this clock function draw clock runs, it will call this and then call this function. So I'm just going to tab down to the bottom of this last function here and just add the block of code for our draw numbers function. So I've added a block of code that will draw the numbers on the clock. So this is the code here. This is the block of code. So I'll do my best to run through it with you. So we've got a couple of variables here, variable called ang and a variable called num. We've on line 36, basically we are setting the font size of the drawing object to be 15% of the radius. That's what this line 36 does. Line 37 and 38 is used to set the text alignment to the middle and the center of the print position. And for the rest of the code from line 39 to 47, we are calculating the print position for 12 numbers to 85% of the radius. We're going to have that rotated. We've got the py divided by 6. So here we've got the master py property here divided by 6 for each of the numbers of the clock. So these are various methods here. So we're using the rotate method and we're passing in this variable ang here, which is responsible for the angle, and we're using the translate method here as also. As I explained in previous video, the translate basically is used to remap the position on the x and y axis of the canvas. And here we are line 43, we're rotating using the rotate method again. This time we're using a negative value here. Notice on 41 is a positive and 43 we're using a negative value, and then 44 we're using the fill text. This is what will actually put the text on the clock, and we're referencing the number variable and we're converting it to string. Okay, and these are the values. Again here 45, we're referencing the rotate method using the variable we defined on line 34. We're using the translate again here with these values here, and again we're using the rotate method with a negative for this variable. So that basically should create the numbers for the clock. So I'm just going to save this and click save all, and we can go back to our HTML and see what it looks like. Okay, the numbers have not showed up, so there must be a slight error in the code. So I'm just going to go back into the code and have a look what I may have done wrong. So let me take a look. The function is called draw numbers. Let me see. All right, okay, this is where my error is. The function is called draw numbers, and I've just called it draw numbers, so obviously it will not run, so I need to add the s. I'll save that and try and refresh the clock again and see. Excellent. So now we have the numbers showing up on the face of the clock. Oh, that's excellent. So if you are on the same page and you've got yours working also, many congratulations. In the next lecture, we're going to create a function that will be used to draw the hand for the clock. So thank you for watching and see you in the next lecture. Bye for now.